We got a lot of great action lined up for you this weekend in Las Vegas. How you doing, folks? Brian Blessing, oddsworthbetting.com featured pick of the days for you. Right below this video, we have college football on a Friday night. Busy slate of games, National Hockey League this entire weekend. Some of the opportunities on the wagering board, we focus on college football. Intriguing games, to say the very least. And on Friday night, look at Memphis and Tulsa. Memphis had that big win, and we talked about that in this space for weeks leading up to it, that in Memphis they were counting the days. The last thing they wanted was Mississippi to lose a game. They were just laying in the weeds, waiting for them. They were so nervous in the beginning of the game, they made all kinds of mistakes, but then they came out and really took it to the Rebels there. And now Memphis, you've got to look for a letdown in this spot. It's just human nature. These are college kids. It's never easy. They invested so much time and energy leading up to that game, then the emotional aspect of winning the game. Now, can they regroup, go on the road and lay 10.5 against the Tulsa team? And the total, this is a game that's on the rise from 74 up to 77. So we'll see if Memphis can put that letdown aside and stay focused on the business at hand. Utah State's got the same kind of scenario. They beat Boise State. Now they're at San Diego State, who won on the road at San Jose State last week. But you're looking at Utah State laying 5 on the road, and the total on that game is 44. And it all really sets the table for a very busy weekend on a Saturday in college football. Texas A&M and Mississippi. That's one of the more intriguing games for me. We just talked about Mississippi losing to Memphis. This Texas A&M team, they were unbeaten. Alabama took them to them pretty good. Later in the season, you lose that first game, teams have this really bad adverse reaction. But I think someone's a really good coach. So I think Texas A&M comes up with a pretty good effort. It's a very tough environment to go down to Mississippi and play that game. Ole Miss, 5.5-point favorites. The total on that game is 66. I think you got some pretty interesting games in the Big 12 and in the Pac-12 specifically on Saturday. Texas Tech is at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's 14.5 in this spot. The total on the game is 75. Isn't it something? Oklahoma gets steamrolled, and you look for trends that matter. Bob Stoops now 26-0 in games after a loss. Some of these trends, you just have to pay attention to them. They stand the test of time, and they work out over the long haul. You've got Florida State and Georgia Tech. Florida State's unbeaten. Could they be walking into a buzzsaw here? Georgia Tech is in the midst of a losing streak, but they've got a lot of talent, and that running attack is very tough to prepare for. Interesting to see Florida State laying 6 points, can walk into Georgia Tech and get a win, get away from the Yellow Jackets, don't get stung, and get out of there. And then again, like I said, Pac-12, the get-out game, or games in the Pac-12, generally speaking, are get-out games. We do have one in the afternoon, Washington State and Arizona. Arizona, 7.5-point favorite. Arizona's a completely different team now that Anu Solomon is back after suffering a concussion a couple of weeks ago, and Washington State's feeling their oats. They can put points on the board. That should be a very, very entertaining football game for you on a Saturday. Of course, we have a full slate of games in the National Hockey League. The NBA starts next week. College basketball is not far away. You look at some of the interesting games. Of course, you get the big battle in Canada, Toronto at Montreal, Hockey Night in Canada on a Saturday, and then some of the later games, Detroit, a Western road swing now, they're at Vancouver, and the get-out game at 10:30 sends Carolina to San Jose. It doesn't matter. On the wagering board, there are countless opportunities for us each and every day. We're heading into a very busy weekend. We'll preview the entire slate of college football for you right here in this space. We'll be downtown, get you some cool stuff from over the weekend. We'll be making our trip down to the Strip as well. Glad you're with us here at scoresandodds.com. And as always, we invite you to check out oddsworthbetting.com for the featured pick of the day right below this video.